Mr. Obsolete here today. Today we need to mow the lawn again. We've been doing it about twice a week. Going to be using a vintage 1982 Lawn Boy. They've been making lawnmowers for 85 years. They're a 2-cycle engine on the older ones. The newer ones are 4 cycles. But, this one, the guy gave it to me. I used to do a lot of outboard motor repairs. And there was a guy that lived about 30 miles from us who used to part motors out. He didn't repair them, just parted them out and sold parts, but he had a big pile of parts left over. So I went over to scrounge them all up. And while I was there, this lawnmower was sitting there, didn't run. He had a price of $12 on it, but after I'd loaded the truck completely full of outboard parts, I didn't have hardly any room left. He said, "Oh, you better take that too," so we went and got some rope and tied it on the top, brought it home, and was missing a few little pieces. The paint had started to come off. The main thing that was wrong with it was the ignition module had failed on it. So I bought a new module and cleaned the carburetor and put a new air filter in it, a new blade on it. That was in 1995. Still using it today. Needs a restoration job. I'll do this coming winter, but since I'm thrifty, or cheap if you want to call it that, I keep a list of how much this stuff cost me, and so cost was free. The ignition module was $30, the blade was $16, the carb kit was $6, the air filter $3, and the muffler was starting to rot out, so I replaced that. It was $25. So to own this fine gem here cost me $3.33 a year to own, so I like to get my money's worth. So we'll start it up. Turn on the fuel, and it has a diaphragm here. You pump it, give it a few shots, pull off your brake. traveling like this, lot lighter and stuff. Only weak point drops will put holes through them like this. And letting the lawnmower run, let it cool off. Even though it's a fairly cool day, I like to let the mowers cool off, especially the 4-strokes. Shut them off when they're hot. It's really hard on them. You can see what a nice job it does. Our lawn is very uneven. And the one thing on it, I'll show you the deck here. You can see that the front wheels are staggered. What that does, it's an anti-scalping feature that Lawnmower had from very early on, I believe about 1953 or 4. What it does is on uneven ground, it keeps the mower level. You can see what a really nice smooth job it does, even though our lawn is really rough. And then first thing I ever had to do with lawn boys is when I was in grade school. My teacher, I had mow lawn for people around and stuff, and the one teacher had a lawn boy, self-propelled one like this one, much older of course, but her husband was a truck driver and was gone a lot, and she didn't like mowing the lawn, so I would do it, and she'd pay me to do it, but I enjoyed running the mower so much I would have done it for free, but I always really liked these mowers. So I have other lawn boys too. When I do another video on the next mowing with another lawn boy, I'll talk about the history and show you pictures of different models and innovations and stuff. And there's a lot of interesting history. It goes way back to 1934. So I wanted to talk briefly about the fellow I got this lawnmower from. It's kind of an unusual situation. He lived close to the water, but his lawn was 12 feet wide and 40 foot long. Yet he had a fairly high-end lawnmower, self-propelled, which you can control with this. This is your engine brake to shut it off. And this, you can remove that, and then a piece would go over it, and then you could put a catch with a bag on it if you wanted to catch your grass clippings. The adjusters on the wheels are right here. The back one just has a single lever, it has notches, and you can raise it lower. It's really simple. But, this was a fairly expensive mower when it was new. It was just unusual that the guy had such a puny lawn and such an expensive lawnmower. So there again, just look at that beautiful lawn boy-orific lawn mowing job. So we'll see you on the next video.